I'm Drew and I play guitar.
I'm Mark and I play bass.
I'm Eden and I play guitar.
I'm Matt and I sing, and we're Milestones and you're hanging out with Rob at Front Row Live.
First experience here in America, and this is a major tour that you guys are on. So how's that tour been like for you guys?
Yeah, it's been surreal, been amazing just to be in the country, but to play to this many people has been a dream come true in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Definitely. I was going to say, like, a few of us have never been to America before.
Right.
So to have our career bring us here is quite a humbling experience.
No,
it's really good.
Yeah. And what was it like that first show? I think it was New Orleans that you guys did, the first ever show here. What was that experience like for you guys?
It was strange, like, especially because, like, first night to tour can always be funny anyway,
right.
Just because everyone's, you know, you're getting back into the swing of playing shows every night.
Yeah.
So to walk back out to walk onto a stage with, like, a room full of people, like, you couldn't see the back of the room properly. It was like, all right, this is pretty serious then, really. Like, first day to tour, it's this busy. It was surreal.
Yeah.
That was one of the kind of smallest venues on the entire tour, and it was still packed. I think it was sold out as well. So, and that was at House of Blues as well.
Right.
So it was like, and obviously House of Blues is like an iconic venue around the world. So it was like, it was a big deal for us to be able to start a tour like that.
Last year, you guys not only signed to Fearless, congratulations with that, by the way, but you guys dropped your debut EP with them. Can we talk a little bit about the debut EP and why those 5 tracks were so particular that you guys had to get them in that EP?
I think with the EP, we spent quite a while like making sure it was perfect. Like one thing that we quite proud ourselves on is that each song sounds different. Like if we played it to someone, even if they listened to it twice, they'd recognize which song is which. It's not like, you know, the same song after the same song. So we wrote them and we chose them for that reason. We chose the ones which, you know, whenever we write our songs, we label them the darker song, the ballad, the single. It's not like we write songs and then we choose which is which. We usually write them to be that type of song. So yeah, the EP was kind of chosen that way, really.
There's a good thing about it as well, because we also released an EP before this which was titled the same thing, and it was kind of a blessing in disguise of a way that we got to kind of work upon that again and re-release the same EP with better songs, obviously because we'd grown as a band over that time. I think I joined the band just after they recorded the first one, so obviously I was thrown in when these were all coming out with like bangers, and I was really impressed. So
I think the EP that we released through Fearless was like a perfect, almost like a portfolio of what the band can do. Like what Matt said, we label like the ballad, the dark song, the pop song. It's like, it was like a portfolio to be like, if you're more into sort of like slow ballads, we can do that. If you like quick paced pop music, we can do that. So I feel like coming into like the cycle of LP1, it'll be a lot like, it'll just be like sort of like another portfolio, if you will, but the sound will be a lot more like concentrated on things that we know we're good at. So like the EP song we picked the way they were because it was like, we can do a little bit of everything and sort of please everyone.
When you guys go into the studio to actually do a ballad or a rock song or a poppier song, does that really change much the way that you guys record or the way that you guys write? Like what is that process like?
As in like, I think, to be honest, I think we tend to like just, like I said, segment which song is which. Like we find a few bands that we really like for that kind of song, and we see how they do it and we see how we want to do it, and then the two kind of come together. I mean, like, one of my favorite quotes ever is that individualism is founded upon trying to be somebody else and being bad at it because you're not that person. So I think like whenever we try and write songs, it's usually through like trying to find a song or a type of style that we like and trying to make it our own, and then the two come together and it births something that we didn't think we had but is actually unique for that one song. So yeah, whenever we go into the studio, we tend to just do that. We tend to like be like, okay, this is the type of song we want, and usually it comes together with what we think is going to happen and what we want it to happen, and it's somewhere in the middle.
Got it. Now, this time you guys came into the studio with Phil as the producer. What was it like working with him, and was that your first experience with an actual producer, or did you guys, on the previous one that he mentioned, did you guys work on it with a producer as well?
We've always worked with Phil. Phil's been there since we like started the band, and he's been like perfect for us, because I think one thing that we wanted to spend more time on, rather than, you know, working with an amazing producer in California or whatever, like which a lot of bands do, and something which we definitely like to do in the future for sure. Right. One thing that we thought, especially for this one, seeing as we're so young, we're so new to songwriting and stuff like that, and we've got a lot to learn, is we wanted to have the time rather than, you know, the investment into like perfect equipment and stuff like that. Right. So we wrote like 70 songs or so for the album, and we kind of like must have spent 100 or so days in the studio. Like me and Drew at one point were recording a lot of the stuff ourselves inside the studio without Phil there because he was too busy doing something else. Yeah. He just kind of let us record ourselves inside his studio. We're really close friends with him. So, Drew, do you want to take something else? I know you're on the corner.
No, you're good. Yeah, that's pretty much like, as Matt was saying, we had to pull quite a lot of all-nighters, especially for the record, because we had to narrow it down to like 12 songs, but we ended up wanting to record about 16. Had to do that over like 23 days. So yeah, like, yeah, right. Yeah, but like, yeah, doing the album was obviously like a lot of work, and we've been doing it for like 2 years as well. Like writing the record for like 2 years. So like, we just absolutely hammered out so many tracks for it.
Yeah, the EP that we did with Phil, some of those tracks were actually supposed to. They were demo tracks for the album. And whilst we were doing all the Phil's kind of like talking and sorting out the deal and stuff, we were actually writing the album. We sent them over some demos, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this can go on the EP." We were like, "Okay, cool." They were supposed to be demos, but awesome. And then I'm pleased that happened because it meant we could really take a step back and really focus on. Because I don't think those 3 songs would ever make it onto the album that we've now got, because we just narrowed it down and perfected even more and stuff like that. So. Yeah, it's been a lot of sleepless nights in the studio at stupid o'clock. So yeah, I'm really pretty pleased with it.
So is it safe to say that there's an album that's pretty much ready to drop?
It's been recorded.
Okay.
We're doing like the last touches this month, kind of mixing and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's been sent off to be mastered and properly mixed. So we're thinking it'll be out this year. But yeah, we've done everything on our end kind of thing. Yeah. We did that just before we went away. We had a really tight schedule, so we did that before we went on tour in Europe.
Yeah, because you guys have been on tour like for the past year or so, right?
Yeah. I mean, we've not been home for like almost 2 months now, and then we won't be home for another 2.5 months again. I don't think we're home until July. That's crazy. And then we'll probably be out again soon after that.
That's crazy. And what's that like for you guys, going from not ever experiencing a tour to like just touring nonstop all of a sudden?
To be fair, it's quite easy when you get on very well with everyone here. Yeah. But like, it's a good job we aren't really since we're in a band. But you know, I don't know. Yeah, I feel if there was any sort of like beef or anything, not that there would be within a band, like little things that annoy you about people, and they just grate on you and build up until you started shunning people away. But we're all great mates, so. We get on very well, so fortunately. So
I think not just that, like obviously we've got like personality differences. There's things that do great on each other, but like I think the best thing to be able to say that you are close friends isn't you get on. It's how you deal with it when you don't. Like there's days when Eden really annoys me, but whenever he does, he'll know, and he'll like not speak to me on those days, because it might be him, it might be me, I might just be having a weird day, because like everyone does, especially when you're sleeping in rough conditions and you're eating badly, and
and you guys are, I mean, you're in a tour bus or a van,
very small.
for a long
that's all gone.
So you can't really get out of that one.
No, so yeah, like whenever someone's having an off day, I think the best way of saying that you know you're good friends with each other. I mean, you hear bands call each other brothers a lot, and I think the best way of saying why people say that is because you know when to back off someone, you know when they're having a bad day, you know what kind of bad day they're having, whether they're having a bad day where you're like, okay, I'm not going to go near him, or do they need someone to go, yo, you okay? Like it's that difference, and it's being able to tell towards someone what kind of mood they're in without ever actually having to ask them.
Carrying on from what you've just said, like it's really important that you know how to distance yourself. Like even when you're in close proximity with everyone, like we're all really good at just zoning out, like putting your earphones in and just not talking to anyone. So
it can become it can become mental when like you're around someone that, you know, for like that amount of time. And even though, like I said, like we're all like really good friends and we know how to deal with each other, you do sometimes just need that hour, 2 hours where you just have your headphones in and it's just like you for that. Like that's like the best way to deal with it, I think. Yeah.
No personal space, do you?
No, personal space is not a thing in that band. Like,
In this band, like.
yeah, you don't get it. But if you can zone out for 2 hours, then that's like 2 hours of your own time where you've just ignored everyone, I guess. Like,
What's that about personal space?
So that's pretty much what it's like in the van, right? So the EP is doing. It sounds like it's doing good. How are the fans like really taking into it on during these live shows, especially when you guys are performing it live?
I mean, people don't really know us here, which is great. Like, we've ever since we've been a band, really, we've kind of like, I think this and the tour we just did before is the first proper tours we've ever done. Yeah. So we've got like somewhat of a following in the UK. Like, we're starting to grow a fan base, but over here, you know, we're seeing 1 or 2 people every night singing, and that's it. Yeah. Which is great for us because we've made our sound and made our performance about making people like us, not making people continue to like us, right. Which is like a completely different game. So like, we've seen amazing like amounts of people buying CDs and people like, you know, you can see from the start to the end of the set, people starting to like us a lot. Yeah. So like, I've been thrilled with the response. It's been incredible so far. Right.
Yeah, the great thing is we go outside after every single show and try to sell CDs as well and just meet all the fans and kind of people who've never talked to us before. You recognise them on social media, like they follow you and they interact with you all the time. So that's like a bond that you're actually making with people, so they won't forget your band. It's just brilliant. Like, some bonds you just make with some people are unreal. It's great. Cool. They'll follow you for like the end of time or whatever. It's great. That's
awesome. That's awesome. So what's next for you guys right now? I know this tour is like, you guys are kind of like in the beginning of it, right?
First third of the tour, isn't it? Yeah. Straight after this tour, we do Europe for another 3.5 weeks. Simple plan, yeah. Amazing. So, I mean, after that, I mean, can you comment on what we're gonna do after that? Like, we're probably just gonna take some time off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we're probably just gonna have a bit of time off, like from 4 months straight of touring, and then yeah, probably until something else gets thrown at us. Yeah, exactly. Until like, you know, something else gets thrown at us and like, oh shit, we're gonna go on the road again.